Hi everyone, welcome to Weekly Cooking with Becky, and we are doing pork tenderloins tonight. Let me just tell you that I got this recipe from a friend of mine who walked through the program that I do, and we're living low carb and loving life, and it is so good that I'm like, I have to share her recipe. I mean, that's just what it is. I have to share it. So this is going to be a pork tenderloin with a garlic herb butter. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna do is you want to start with two 1-pound tenderloins. You can usually buy them in the store in a package of two, and they're each 1 pound a piece, so they're already separated for you. You're gonna come home and you're gonna unwrap it and you're gonna stab it all over the place. They say with a fork. I did that the first time and I didn't get enough seasoning into the tenderloin that I actually stab it with a knife now because I really want the seasoning to get into the tenderloin. But just make sure you stab it on all sides really good, because to that you are going to add in a tablespoon of minced Italian herbs and 4 cloves of garlic. While we're doing that, the skillet, which is already preheating, if you have a cast iron, use a cast iron. I don't, but I do have an oven safe skillet. So I'm preheating the oven to 425 because it's going to finish in the oven, and I'm already preheating 3 tablespoons of olive oil, so it is ready to sear as soon as we are ready prepping the meat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to arrow down as I talk to you guys onto the pork tenderloin. So these are 2 1-pound tenderloins, and in this bowl I've already prepared the Italian seasonings and the minced garlic, and I've just stirred it up pretty well. And I have taken off my rings, guys. I'm gonna get kind of dirty, so I'm gonna take about half of that and put it in my hands. Yeah, so this is probably why you want to take off your rings. Just put them back on when you are done. But you'll notice I'm going to be pressing and I want to get them, and I can see where my knife cracks are. So I'm actually purposely trying to really push the seasoning into the meat. Make sure you do both sides, really getting into anywhere where you put that crack, or stabbed, I should say. So now I'm going to do the other one. Same process, and if there's any left over, I'll find empty spots. Usually I just kind of spread it and turn it, and then I go back and just start going to town with it. I have a little bit more here. I'm just gonna pour that over. Guys, this is so good. It is gonna be like a 2 to 3 hand washer, not gonna lie, but oh my land, it's worth it. It's worth it. So I'm stabbing this all in there. Okay. So everything is thoroughly stabbed. I need to wash my hands super fast, and then what I'm going to do is coat it with salt and pepper. I will be right back. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay and you're having a great week. This is a meal that you can do whether you're living low carb or not. This is I would call this such a wonderful pork tenderloin that I don't care how you eat, whether you eat low carb, paleo, gluten-free, keto, healthy living, or you just want to have a pork tenderloin. Let me just tell you, there's nothing wrong with this one. So now we have to salt and pepper both sides, and then I'm gonna wash my hands again. So pink Himalayan sea salt, please. Get those electrolytes into your body, and pepper. Now, what I'm going to do, so that way after I do this, I can actually look at you guys. I have salt and pepper to this side. I'm gonna go put that side onto the avocado oil that's already heating up in the skillet. Okay. And I'm going to use a paper towel, my fingers off, and I'm now going to do the same thing to the other side. I don't know how well you can see what I'm doing. And you know, I said I was preheating the skillet. Apparently I wasn't. Preheating it now. So once I hear the sizzle start, I'll tell you the timer. Sorry about that, guys. I was doing so good. All right. That is it for a moment. Let me, just want to look at you guys while I'm talking to you guys. I'm going to wash my hands again. And I'll tell you what we're going to do. So good. Just make sure you prepare a good veggie on the side. We're going to be doing mashed cauliflower tonight. We are a family of 3 and it makes 8 servings. So we have enough for 2 nights and then a leftover. So I'm planning on the mashed cauliflower tonight and roasted asparagus tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll just simply heat the oven to 350 for about 15 to 20 minutes, and we'll make a sauce to go with it, which I'm going to show you in just a minute. We'll just make up another garlic butter sauce and we'll top it, and we'll just eat it with a different side tomorrow. So I don't have to cook tomorrow night except for asparagus. So while the oven is getting hot, let me talk to you about the garlic butter sauce. You don't technically need to make it until the end. I make it now because it usually stays in liquid form. If I want to at the very end, I'll just heat it for 10 seconds to have a nice hot little sear on that. Sorry about that. We had some disturbances next door, so I needed to keep going. So let me just tell you, slight alteration of what I told you earlier. I had to go ahead and sear up. So this has now been done 3 minutes on each side so that it is nice and golden brown. I'm trying to see if you guys can see how golden brown it is. It looks delicious. So at this time, I am going to switch it into the oven. I'm just going to put it in the oven 20 to 25 minutes or until it reaches 145 internally. Okay, now I'm going to go to the garlic butter sauce. So you can actually make the garlic butter sauce when it comes out because it needs to rest for about 5 minutes before you eat it. I make it now so that I can just start working on my side, and then everything's ready to go when it's time to go. Totally up to you, but let me walk you through it. So what I have down into my bowl for the butter sauce, and you are going to want to make some more for night 2. This is 1/4 of a cup of melted unsalted butter in here because we're going to be adding other types. So 1/4 teaspoon of garlic salt. I'm just going to eyeball it. I've made this a few times now. It's one of our faves. Half on the onion. Half on the onion. A tablespoon of fresh parsley. They were out of fresh parsley at the store, so you need, but I was able to buy this kind that's just lightly dried, so it's still going to be pretty close to a tablespoon, and then I'll just save some for tomorrow. And all you do is you stir it, and and I like to do it early, and if I have to reheat it for 10 seconds, okay. But my thought is it's incorporating all the flavors right now. This will be drizzled over each piece of meat that it goes onto your plate. So that is your dipping sauce, or for me, I don't dip it, I just drizzle it on top. So we're gonna have pork tenderloin with cauli mash tonight, and then tomorrow we'll have round 2, make up some more butter sauce, and we'll have it with roasted asparagus. So super, super easy. I will show you the finished product when done. So really quickly while that's baking, let me just re-go over everything with you and give you the nutritional facts. So you start with 2 1-pound pork tenderloins for 8 servings. Now, if you only want it for one night, just take my recipe and cut it in half. A tablespoon of minced Italian herbs, 4 cloves of garlic, coarsely minced or out of a jar. That's kind of how I do it. You're going to stab the pork chop and all over the place, fork or knife, and you're gonna rub that all over. And then when you're done, you're gonna season both sides with salt and pepper, a teaspoon of each. You'll take 3 tablespoons of avocado oil and you'll start heating up your skillet. You'll drizzle the avocado oil, so sorry about that guys, because it's a high heat oil. And then once the skillet is ready, 3 minutes per side or until browned and ready to go into the oven at 425. You will cook it in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes until the pork reads 145. Then just let it sit for a couple minutes. For the sauce, it is 1/4 cup of melted unsalted butter, a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic salt, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, and a tablespoon of chopped parsley. I make it on the early side. Some people make it at that last minute. I'm gonna let the flavors infuse, and like I said, if I need to just reheat it for 10 seconds, I will. Nutritional facts. So if it makes 8 servings, a serving size is 1/4 pound or 1/4 of each tenderloin. Just cut your tenderloin into fourths. That'll be 237 calories. So that's awesome. And if you do a healthy veggie, you're going to be a very low calorie meal. Let's look at your carbs. If you're counting total carbs, 1. If you're counting net carbs, 0, because you subtract fiber from your counts, and so 1 minus 1 is 0. So that's awesome. There's no carbs in our pork tenderloin that we're going to be having tonight. That includes the herb sauce. I want you to know that includes the sauce, your 237 calories. Yay! So it is a great meal. It is so juicy, so tender. I will show you it plated up at the end. Please remember to share my video out. Feel free to subscribe. If you want to, click on the name of the recipe and arrow down. You'll see the description and a link so that you can print the recipe to have. Seriously, all food lovers out there, if you are a carnivore, you can be low carb, keto, paleo, whole foods, diabetic, you name it, or you can just be like, I want pork. It is so good, guys. It's for everybody. Serve it with a veggie on the side and you are good to go. Alrighty, thank you so much. Like I said, click subscribe. Also, if you are living low carb, then I would enjoy you to be on my Facebook page, Living Low Carb with Becky. Feel free to go and join that on Facebook. I will gladly accept you, and we'll see the finished product soon. It looks amazing. The sauce is still nice and liquidy, and so I'm going to show you the finished plate, and then we're going to have family dinner. So here is the tenderloin out of the oven. Here's the mashed cauliflower, and all I'm going to do is take a little bit of this and there you have it, everybody. There's your dinner. So go and have a pork tenderloin on us. Enjoy.